It is my one sole mission on this earth that by the end of this video, you never utter the words, I don't have time to create content, nor I don't know how to create content that I love and that actually makes me money and builds a personal brand ever again. I literally charge to implement what I'm about to tell you how to DIY for free with Wi-Fi and willpower, from the scheduling to the audience targeting to the mindset to the monetization, baby. We covering it all. Everything you need to become the full-time creator that you've always wanted to be and get that business booming, baby. This is not just going to be another stay consistent and hope video. This is going to be the truth and everything you need to know. And the truth might sting a little sometimes, but know that I love you. I'm breaking down the exact system that I used to go from 0 to 10,000 followers in 8 days on TikTok and 100K in under 100 days. Make my first $11,000 from content in under 2 months while I was working 5 different jobs and in grad school. Yes, you heard me. This was all made possible by the help of our dear friend, ChatGPT. Hold up now, before you click off, not in the way that you think, okay? We're not using chat to manufacture our entire life and career. However, we kind of are. This is also what I did as a solopreneur and female founder to literally scale my entire business while simultaneously getting that business degree, baby, and grow my Instagram to 10,000 followers from 200 followers in only 2 weeks of consistent posting. And baby, can I just say the Instagram besties are aligned, okay? And I'm getting to expand the team and impact so many creative women. And I'm excited. I'm just very freaking grateful, and I'm grateful that you're here, and I love helping winners win, and I love helping creators create. So by the end of this, you will know exactly why most creators never make it and how to avoid that on your track to social media success. Welcome to building your digital empire in 2026, where you stop doom scrolling for inspo and comparing yourself to Sally Sue and whatever the heck that she's selling and doing on the internet, and you actually lock the in and become the most creative, badass, abundant, wealthy, hot version of you through content. The first step is one that nobody wants to admit, and it has nothing to do with the algorithm or the ring light or even the content strategy. I built this with discipline, strategy, and execution. And if I did it, you can too. But most of you won't, because discipline isn't sexy. Discipline isn't fun at first. But I'm telling you, bestie, if you actually watch this video, take some notes all the way through, instead of saving it to your watch later, which you never check, you will know exactly how to grow on any social media platform that you choose on purpose, without selling your soul, burning out, or waiting for somebody else's freaking permission. And by the end of this video, if you still feel like this is not possible for you, then I need you to go look into the mirror, because the only thing standing in your way is you. Let's go. There are 3 reasons why creators stall, and this entire video is built around removing those reasons as obstacles. The first is they don't have content that fits their real life. The second is they're treating content like creativity instead of infrastructure. And the third is they go viral without any plan to monetize. When you not only fix these 3, but create a strategy to avoid these 3 bottlenecks and obstacles, your growth isn't random, it becomes engineered. But let me back it up just for 2 seconds. Let's talk about the algorithm. First, your algorithm is built from your discipline, and I can prove it. And again, this is not in the way that you think. Asking for trust. Can you trust me? Do you trust me? I hope you do. I would never lead you astray. When I started this, I was on my last leg. Broke, burnt out, burnt to a crisp. Like I mentioned earlier, I was working 5 different jobs and getting my master's in business. I was feeling invisible. I was a lot of delusional. I was tired. I was at the crossroads of complete burnout and lost potential. My bank account was literally in the negatives, and I had an $11,000 tuition bill due, past due, and I was gonna have to be kicked out of school. But baby, my rent was also due on the 1st, and I couldn't afford that either. I had hit a breaking point mentally, physically, financially. I'd always kind of been on the brink of a breaking point as somebody who was fighting cycles of generational poverty. I grew up with a single mama in a very small town, and I was fulfilling the cliche of wanting to be an entertainer and wanting to impact people with my story. Lucky me, I always believed in being in the options business, so I sacrificed. I invested in myself. I got the social media certification when I was 17. I ran the sales business that did $65,000 in revenue whenever I was 18. I continued to do whatever I could to keep my resume fresh. I invested in my education, my skills sharp. So I felt like I was doing everything right. But when I started posting content, I was not confident. I didn't feel like I looked the mold, nor that I had enough money to be a content creator, but something in me told me months ago that I needed to try. At that breaking point, I was like, you know what? I need to give it a shot, because what else do I have to lose? I've been playing the game by the rules and it's not working for me. So I need to create a new set of rules. Whenever I finally got the courage to start posting, all I heard everybody say was that you had to post 3 times a day. And girl, I wanted to scream like, what? When? Where? With what time? Between what job? Between what meltdown? So you know what I did? I opened ChatGPT. Revolutionary, bad for the earth. I know. I was selfish. I was desperate, but it changed everything for me. Hey, ChatGPT, I want to be a TikTok creator. I already have been working in social media the last 6, almost 7 years, and I am a theater director and writer. I know how to teach people how to grow on social media, but I don't know if I really have the time. I want to grow on TikTok specifically because I know it's the easiest app to grow on. I'm working 5 different jobs. Here is my exact schedule. Here's when I eat. Here's when I sleep. I also want to have time to work out. You create a plan for me to be able to post 3 times a day and actually live my life and do homework because I'm in school too. Thank you. Love you. Bye. Here's the exact prompt that you can use. But like, basically, I said something like that. You word vomit, you put it all out there. Don't just ask AI, hey, can you give me all my ideas and be a dope? No, you use AI to help you better your life, baby. Upgrade your life. Use the tools that are available to you. Okay. Out of that came my first real content calendar. Not one that I had built for other people to help monetize and build their brands no, for me. Actually build freedom. It was not fluff. It was not a Pinterest productivity board. It was just a ruthless, very clean, clear-cut, detailed schedule. It matched my real life. Every hour was blocked and assigned. And from there, I had no excuse because I had a plan. I put it out into the ether and I had steps to actually get to where I wanted to be. I simply needed to execute because strategy is nothing without execution. And this is the thing. I wanted to change my life so badly that I took that shit serious. It was not about whether or not I felt like it. It was, this is your filming time. This is your writing window. This is your homework time. This is when you rest. This is when you edit. And yeah, I was tired, but I was also tired of being tired, and specifically tired of being tired without results. And from that moment on, content stopped being this emotional struggle and this big dream. It became non-negotiable infrastructure. Most of y'all think your problem is you don't know where to start, but the issue is you don't know how to stick with something long enough to see it work. You post for 3 days, get low views, call the algorithm broken. You try something once, it doesn't work out, scroll for hours comparing yourself to everybody else, and then feel like and don't post again for weeks. You build your confidence off of comments instead of consistency. I'm saying it to you like this because this is what I had to rewire in my own brain. You need to detach. And this is something that they teach in manifestation too. You have to know that it is coming to you and then detach and allow yourself to receive. You need to be so certain that something is coming that you are no longer attaching so much emotion to it. For me, that meant telling myself, I don't need 100,000 followers to know that I'm a big creator because the followers will come. I am a big creator right now. You are right now. All I needed was one clear strategy and the discipline to run the play, and the results would follow. And that is exactly what happens. All you need is one clear strategy, the discipline to run the play, and the results will follow. It is inevitable. It is law. E equals MC squared, babe. That is it. That's the secret. You need a 1% mindset. That is what I learned very early on. It is not about if I would succeed, but it was when and how fast. Let's get something straight. If you're watching this, you probably have a life. You have bills, a kid, school, a job you hate, a job you tolerate, family, or maybe it's just your own damn brain running 27 tabs at once. I am not telling you to hustle yourself into oblivion. You don't deserve that. But I am telling you to get off of your and make some choices. If you have time to watch YouTube videos, you have time to create them. You are not lazy. You know this. You are overloaded, in fact. But take it from me, you are not too busy to grow on social media. You are just too disorganized to gain momentum for yourself. And before you click off, I'm not saying that to shame you. I am saying that to free you, because that was me. And I wish somebody shook me and told me, stop wasting your freaking potential, because you won't give yourself permission to make a plan, execute, evaluate, and evolve into your success. And excuses. Working those 5 jobs, I was in grad school in a class about AI and tech, learning about quantum computing and blockchain and the future of work and technology, wondering how I was literally going to afford groceries that week. Like, I was studying the future, and as somebody who's always been so go, 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 elevate, 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 I could not see one for myself, and that scared the crap out of me. The real thing that has always spiraled me into a deep depression has been this invisible clock that has loomed over me. Not some influencers' 5 a.m. B-roll or aesthetic life, but like my life, my mental blocks, my systems, my demons, baby. Anytime somebody asks me, when's the moment you became a creator? It was the moment that I spilled my entire life into ChatGPT on a literal depressive spiral, babe. Not when I went viral, not when I hit 100,000 followers, not when I got my first brand deal. It was that moment when I finally took my dreams seriously enough to systematize it and execute on it. This is why posting more didn't burn me out, even though I was working multiple jobs while I was doing it. It actually freed me from those jobs, and I will show you exactly how in a second. That's your first real little golden nugget takeaway for today. Systems over motivation, execution over vibes, and structure is the bridge between your dream and your circumstances. Now I know what you're thinking. Okay, Pookie Butt Put and Pop, all that was cute, but why don't I still don't know what to post? And what if when I post it, it continues to flop? Give me the secret to going viral before I crash out. Welcome to step 2.5. If you don't actually want to get a human strategist and you don't want to sound like ChatGPT, then you need to train ChatGPT to sound like you. I cannot stress this enough, because ChatGPT, honestly, Claude is better. It's powerful, right? But only if you feed it what you actually care about. So here's what you can do next. You use the voice feature. You say, hey chat, I'm gonna give you 3 pieces of content that sound like me. Here's what I'm talking about. Here's my tone, my point of view, and who I'm trying to reach. Now I want you to give me 30 content ideas and 50 viral hook starters written in my tone of voice for my audience. You can do this today, literally today. You are sitting on a phone that people build 6-figure brands on from their bedroom. You are literally using the tools that every billionaire executive is terrified of, because it's leveling the playing field, to get grocery lists and make AI images of your cat turning into a human being. And let me say this, in case your brain is trying to skip ahead and doubt again, you actually don't need a niche to start. You don't need a fancy camera. I started with an iPhone 13 Pro Max. You don't even need to look like a creator, whatever that means, okay? You need strategy, discipline, and the audacity to build a system behind your dreams like they actually matter. This is a trick that you can use at any level. Let me tell you something that might break your brain a little. Not a single viral creator that you know is doing anything original. That's right, let me say it again. Not anybody winning is winging it. They are all reverse engineering proven viral formats and content psychology to manufacture their dream audience in their own little corner of the internet, in their own little way, with their own little personality. That is just a fancy way of saying they study what already works, they filter it through their personality and their story, they turn it into a repeatable format, and they tweak it until it pops. That's it. Content really isn't a mystery. It's just a system and a really long game of test, tweak, play. If you want to play chess and not checkers, and you start thinking like a researcher and not just a creator trying to figure things out, you can build your audience on purpose. Understand this. Your dream audience is already out there searching for answers to their problems, just desperate. They need help, baby. And if you can be the person who can answer their problem whenever they search it, okay? Congratulations, you've become their favorite creator. You become familiar to them, almost like a bestie. So here's how I did it, and how you can do it too. First, I just used the things that I had already known, and I picked 3 to 5 core topics within that I felt like I could talk about literally for days. And then I asked Okay, so what is my ideal person typing into the TikTok search bar or Reddit in a panic spiral? I took those keywords and plugged them into these real tangible resources and sites. And then I start to go into comments of viral videos and understand people's problems. Turn that into content. Here's how you can do this at home. You're gonna open Chatisha GPT, okay? You're gonna plug this prompt in there. You a master content strategist and brand developer. I make content about X for these types of people. There are 5 problems my ideal audience is struggling with. Give me 50 content ideas that help solve these problems and grow my following. When I began using my search back strategy, I instantly was no longer guessing. I was meeting demand. And now you can do that. Knowing what to post is not enough. You need to know how to structure that ish so it actually performs well. Otherwise, so here's your cheat code for doing this. And you're going to do this ethically. You're going to use TikTok as your testing grounds. And after you search those same videos, those same audience questions that have come up in the search bar, you are going to filter that by like counts in the last 3 months and follow the 10x, meaning look for videos that got 10 times the amount of views than that creator has followers. Those are winning formats because it's not the fact that they're a big creator, it's actually the way that they structure their content that allowed them to follow. You are not going to copy their video. You are going to note a couple of things so that you can learn from it and improve your content. What was the hook? What was the structure? Was it a list? Was it a rant? Was it a confession? What pain point does it touch? And what emotion does it trigger? Is it envy? Is it anger? Is it fear? Is it desire? Is it hope? Now you open that same chat and you say, here is a viral hook that I like. Break down why it works and then write me 10 new hooks with a similar structure, tone, and impact, but infuse my voice and my audience's pain points and me into it. You now have hook formulas that slap. Literal strategic weapons. Like, you are architecting attention. Congratulations, you know how to go viral. But knowing how to go viral, as we established earlier, is not enough. Here's the part that nobody tells you when they're all go viral, go viral, go viral. Every single video needs a role, and there are actually 3 types of content that you need to be posting online to both build a following and make money from that following that you built. If your content has no job, it's not an asset, it's a liability. So here's the system. You need your visibility videos, your magnetic videos, and your conversion video. When you know the role of each video, you stop measuring everything by views and attaching your value to the views. And you start asking, did this video do its job? Did it attract the right people? Earn me trust? Did it get the click, the DM, the opt-in, the buy? You start tracking what actually matters, and we will dive more into this later with our monetization section. But here's the shift. Views are vanity. Alignment is currency. And this is about positioning. I would rather have 20,000 loyal, obsessed followers than 2 million followers who scroll and like barely listen and just like comment that my outfit is cute. You build an empire from having people obsessed with you. So obsessed that they want to buy, be a part of anything that you have. That is how you build an empire, not just a moment. Structure compounds. Which brings us to the next question that you probably been asking, baby. How do you post 2 to 3 times a day without hating your life? Even if you hate editing and work a ton, you can post 3 times a day in as little as about 30 minutes. Let me show you how you can actually do this for you. So one of my clients, Millie, for instance, she was a mom, she was a student, she had one goal to make $1,000 from her content so she didn't have to pick up a part-time job while she was in school and take away time from being with her little baby. She was a glamour girly, right? And wanted to actually sell her offer. Money only comes in 30 days like that or sooner with a system. And so that is exactly what I helped her build. Realistically, she could only film early mornings during nap time or during the 2-hour window before her husband picks up the baby from daycare. And that was on the days that she didn't have class. And let me guess, you want to post, you know you should post. You even film sometimes. You even have stuff sitting in your drafts, but then your footage sits in your drafts like a graveyard. And your idea is just kind of raw. And it's because you don't feel like your content is really doing anything. You're not empowered by it. You know it's gonna flop again, and you have a shell of a plan, if any plan at all. So this is what we're gonna do, just like I did with my girl Millie. You don't need a camera. You need a decision. If you want to get seen, paid, and remembered, you need reps. You need rhythm. I cannot stress to you enough, this is where most people drop the ball when it comes to content. It's treating it like a side quest instead of something that's a part of your life's design. And you're probably like, Jada, how the heck am I going to be posting 3 times a day in 30 minutes? you give yourself a Jada jumpstart week. This is how you literally create time to create. I'm gonna walk you through. This is exactly what I gave my client Millie, which took her from 2,000 followers to 10,000 followers on TikTok, and not 1,000, but 3,400 in 3 weeks. Back. If you're working, if you're in school, if you got kids, or all of the above, you need 21 videos total if we're posting 3 times a day, right? So our plan is front load the work, then coast. Monday is gonna be your research and prompt prep. You're not cooking yet, you're just prepping the kitchen. You're putting things mise en place. Tuesday is day 1 of filming. You're gonna film 10 to 15 videos. Energy over perfection. Bullet point. One person, one problem, one takeaway. Do not overcomplicate it. Hump day. Wednesday, filming day 2 and some light editing. Thursday, you're gonna finish editing, and then you're gonna prep for the unload. You're about to put on these algorithms. You're about to put it on. Friday to Sunday, you're gonna post. You're gonna engage back with the people who engage with your content. Morning is gonna be your top of funnel, your visibility. Around lunch, you serve it with a middle of funnel, a little bit of magnetic storytelling content. And then around dinner time, a little time in the evening, you can go ahead and give the sale. No tweaking out, no overthink, baby. Just posting, just data collection. Now, with this jumpstart week, here's what changed for Millie. She stopped missing posting days. Her comments actually lit up with people saying, oh my gosh, I love your energy. She hit 2 to 3 posts daily without filming every day and actually had more time with her baby. So you literally have 2 content days a week. You film on one day, edit on another, and just repeat what works. That is how you go from I don't have time to, oh, I posted 15 videos this week and still had time to live my life. You are not chasing the algorithm anymore. You are feeding it on purpose. It's simple. It's kind of boring. If you made it this far, I'm honestly kind of shocked myself. It's really just a long set of steps. Nerd research, a little audience targeting, and search, and it works like crazy. Now, the burnout part. Here's how I made content that didn't that didn't burn me out. Now you can use the fast, easy, fun method with your discipline. Fast, no camera setups. I use my iPhone, quick talking head, captions, natural lighting, done. Easy, I repeated format. I created 3 types of videos on rotation. Talking head lessons, storytelling with a hook, and point with text with trending sound or some subtle B-roll. Fun. I always made sure that if I noticed my energy was low, that I was jiggling and having a little bit of a time, right? On top of that, I would film extra videos on days when I noticed my energy was high. That way, I had extra content for the days that I really didn't feel like doing anything and can allow myself to actually take a day off without having that like weird creator guilt. Also, I made I wanted to see, not just what I felt like I should post, even if sometimes that meant it got a little lower reach at first. Follow a structure, yes, follow a strategy, but at the end of the day, content that feels good is the only content that you're gonna want to keep making. And conveniently enough, it's the only content that makes money. Bonus section, because if you made it this far, I love you. I'm going to give you the exact prompt that you can use for ChatGPT to script and ideate scripts that actually perform. First, it needs your voice. This is a prompt I still use today. It's actually very useful, and it's all based on you. You're going to need 3 of your best performing videos. And then you're going to get the transcript from them and say, hey, chat, here are 3 of my best performing videos. Can you break down and analyze exactly why they worked structurally, tonally, emotionally? Give me ideas for how to recreate them in my tone of voice and are aligned in my audience. You can say, give me 20 different talking head scripts all under 60 seconds. Each of them need to have a build up with tension, one big aha, and a tangible takeaway or CTA. And that juggernaut will write the whole mother tootin' script for you. But motivation is never gonna come. You're unstructured, so you gotta get structured. And this is the exact system that I use to grow from 0 to 10K in 8 days on TikTok, 10K in 2 weeks on Instagram, make $6,000 in 3.5 weeks from my content, from posting on an account from 0. My first $11,000 only a month and a half into posting. Not because I'm special, but because I ran the play. And the crazy part is I'm still using that schedule. It's the same parts, the same machine. It's just upgraded to what my life looks like now. So don't you dare say I don't have time and I don't know how to create content that actually leads to me being a full-time creator. Because now you do. Let me say this as clearly as I can. Going viral doesn't mean if you don't know what you're going to be doing with that attention. You don't just need 100,000 followers, 1 million followers because everybody else got 100,000 followers and 1 million followers. You need a plan for where that attention is going, because just having followers isn't going to pay your bills. Frictionless systems and monetizable offers. Let me ask you something. When somebody lands on your content today, what journey do you take them on? Do they instantly know who you are, who you're for, and how you can help them? Or are you just hoping that the algorithm fairies sprinkle some 7-figure brand deal in your inbox one day because it loves you? Here's the truth that nobody's gonna tell you without charging you. Every viral video is a billboard. Every piece of content is a data point. Every new follower is a potential customer, client, or collaborator if you know how to guide them. And if you want to be a full-time creator, it is your job to know how to guide them. Most of you are driving traffic into a dead end. No offer, no ecosystem, no monetization flow. Right? But that ends today because I love you. First step to monetizing online is understanding what pathways you can even monetize in. So I'm going to cover the 6 major ones. These are the ones that creators start with no matter what size you're following. Whether that's UGC, affiliate, brand deals, digital products, services, platform rewards. Pick 1 or 2 at first, build trust, and then stack the rest. Now, remember how I said earlier that we would come back to this? The moment that I realized every post doesn't have to go viral, it just has to do its job for you to be making multiple figures online, everything changed for me. I build every week of content for myself and for my clients around 3 central purposes: grabbing new eyeballs, building connection and credibility, and then moving people to a next step. You need all 3, because if you only chase reach, you're gonna build an audience that never buys from you. And if you only teach, you're gonna sound like a free textbook, which is kind of boring. So you're going to balance your week with viral hooks, your storytelling piece, some value-packed, search-based save this video, and then at least 1 CTA or lead directly to offer video. Here's a ChatGPT prompt that helped me build multiple income streams. You can ask it to give you monetization strategies, a list of digital products, a basic funnel structure, and CTA example. Then ask it to break that down into a weekly action plan. Boom, baby, business strategy in your pocket for free, or like 20 bucks a month. Let's get psychological for a second. Do you know Edward Bernays, Freud's spawn, man who literally invented public relations? He taught companies how to sell identity, not just utility. That is what you're doing now. We're not just selling an ebook or a workshop. You're selling a transformation. People don't buy a Notion template. They buy the feeling of, I'm finally organized. They don't pay for a content calendar. They pay to stop feeling like they're drowning in their own ideas and self-doubt. That is buyer psychology. And if your content and your offer speak directly to an emotional need, you won't ever have to sell it. You will just have the solution that people are desperately trying to fix, and they will literally be throwing their wallet. Make sure you're subscribed. My next video is all about the art of building a cult-like following on social media through mastering content, buyer, and branding psychology. Let's wrap this up with the exact framework I teach inside my VIP Viral Besties Club. The first thing you're going to need to do is identify your audience's brain itch. What are they scrolling at 1 a.m. for? What ache are they looking to solve? Then you're going to create content that scratches it emotionally and tactically. Bed your unique transformation and your personality. In other words, your point of view. This is different because. Then you're gonna call them forward into something deeper, a DM, an email list, comment keyword. And finally, just use the data. Scale with intention. That is it. That's the formula. That's how you grow an audience. That's how you turn strangers into followers, buyers, subscribers, and content into cash, baby. You can take all of this today and start executing. Literally today. You already had the tools. You already had the voice. You just needed the plan. And now you have it. So run the play, get the results, babe. And if you want support, then you should join the VIP Viral Besties Club, where we don't just talk about content that pops and pays, but we actually get you engineering it. If you want me in your pocket and boots on the ground building this with you instead of ChatGPT, you can book a quantum monetization consultation below, and we'll see if we're a good fit, if we vibe. You at the top, this was not just going to be another post, pray, and panic video. I'm a woman of my word. Thank you for your trust, bestie. This was your full blueprint. The strategy, the mindset, the psychology, the execution. Exactly how I went from 0 to consistent 5-figure months with my phone and willpower and ChatGPT. And now you have the plan, no guesswork, no excuses. You just learned how to rewire your schedule to actually make time to create using AI as your personal content strategist. You learn how to turn psychology into views and views into money so that your personality becomes a paycheck. You learned how to build a system so that your content does the real work for you. That way you can show up consistently without burnout. I am so proud of you. You have everything that you need to become the creator that people cannot stop watching and paying. So I'll leave you with this. People are going to go viral this year. People are going to change their lives with content this year. Make money, build communities, and finally break the cycle. So the question is, will one of those people be you?